Okay, welcome everyone. Ty Tribble here with you tonight. I'm so excited to do this online downline section on email marketing. So I'm gonna share my screen here, and then let's see, slideshow. Okay, should be good to go. As you know, this is the online downline, and today's let's see here. There we go. Today's topic is email marketing. And here's how it's going to work. I'm going to run through probably about 50 slides with you. There's a bunch. And then we're going to dive in and I'm going to show you some sample emails, actually emails that I just wrote literally over the last 7 days for a brand. And it's going to give you an idea of just, we're going to go through the avatar, who that person is. And then I'm going to dive into those emails and show you how you can connect in so many different ways. And this is going to be 5 emails that I think will change your life in a lot of ways. I'm not saying it's going to be life-changing emails for you, but as we go through them, you're going to have a different perspective when it comes to writing your emails, I think. So, all right, let's jump right in. First of all, I want to give you some knowledge about the state of email marketing. I think there's a lot of people out there who misunderstand where email marketing is today. And it's probably because there's a lot of good marketers out there trying to tell you that email marketing is dead so they can sell you on something else, right? And I mean, God bless them. They are marketing, but they're not really telling the whole, or giving a picture of the entire situation. So here you go. The truth about email today. Number one is more than 90% of people in the US use email. If something is dead and 90% of people still use it, probably not really truly dead, is it? So 99% of those people check their email every single day. So 99% of 90% of Americans check their email every single day. Some of us check our email 20 plus times a day. You don't need to raise your hand, but I know who you are. And nearly 60% check email first before they search and hop on social media. So literally the first thing they do is they pick up their phone and they check email. 60% of those people. The ROI on email. So if you spend $100 on email, the ROI is 4,400% when investing money into email. It is where you can invest some money in and make a tremendous return. The average engagement on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is 0.6%. The average email open rate is 22.86% with a 3.71% click-through rate. 91% of marketers still prefer email with LinkedIn, print, YouTube, and Twitter following. Here's what's crazy about those numbers. One, open rates and click-through rates are, I'm not saying they're meaningless numbers. They mean something. They probably don't mean what you think, especially to someone like me and someone like you who we're going to tell you the most important things as we go through this, but it's something to look at. I'll leave it at that. So where did we go wrong in email? It's important to look at the things that maybe we don't do right, and then we can look at correcting those things. Why people unsubscribe. This is the paradox. Okay, so 59% of the people say they get too many emails. 43% say the info is no longer relevant, and 43% don't recognize the brand or don't remember signing up. Okay, so the paradox is They're not saying they get too many emails from you. They're saying they get too many emails in general. So if I teach you how to write an email that is memorable and interesting and fun to read, the likelihood of you unsubscribing from that email is relatively low. And when you get unsubscribes, I want you to celebrate them, which is a completely different mindset. You celebrate the unsubscribes because that means that that person is no longer taking up space in your email list, and they are not a good prospect for you anyway, right? But the paradox again, too many emails. So I'm getting too many emails. I have to unsubscribe from something. You don't want it to be yours. The info no longer relevant. Okay. I mean, maybe, in a case like this, I'm going to buy a house. So I need to subscribe to a real estate agent. And then I buy my forever home. And then I no longer need to subscribe to that real estate agent. Okay, that makes sense. But don't recognize the brand or don't remember signing up. This is the problem there is not enough emails. People think emailing once a month to your list is good enough. And that's when you'd lose that 43% of the people. So what I'm going to teach you fixes all of these with the exception of no longer relevant. If it's no longer relevant, if they were buying a product for a spouse or something like that, and the spouse passed away or something like that, I always said, I'm going to email you if you're on my list until you either unsubscribe, die. I don't know how that would be, but or buy. You unsubscribe, you die, or buy. If one of those three things happen, then I would unsubscribe you from that particular email address, email list. And if you bought, you might go into a different one, if that makes sense. Let's talk about emails that sell. I want you to master the mindset, and the emails and money will flow from there. Wow, that is a bright white screen. Good grief. Once you get this part down, it's why we always like with the online downline, we started with the story. When you master the mindset, the emails and money flow from there. So you have to study your market. Who are you writing to? And a lot of this work we did so if I motor through some of these, it's because we did a lot of this work in the story brand section. So section 1 of the online downline is really all about getting your story right. But it's a good refresher because when it comes to emails, you want to really be dialed in on who you're writing to. So you have your client avatar. How old are they? What's their age? What's their sex? What's their marital status? Do they have children? What kind of career are they involved in? What's their income? Where are they from? Favorite magazines, and as far as interests go, what's their websites, the movies they watch, the hobbies, their restaurants that they might go to, the books they might read, the conferences they may attend, the gurus that they may study or read from. What are their goals? What are their values? What life challenges are they going through? This is a big one. I want you to really zero in on that life challenges one. What things can cause them pain or do cause them pain? That's another big one. What objections might they have to buying from you? Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, I don't need, I'm not sure about the technology. I don't believe in supplements or whatever. And then you want to tell the story in the email. It's all about the story. Everything you're going to see story weave through everything we do in the online downline. It's, and I've told you this, that gosh darn it, I should have wrote that book when I came up with search engine optimization versus human emotion optimization. It all comes back to the story. And you want to tell it. You want to solve their problem. You want to make the money. Tell the story, solve their problem, you make the money. One thing that email does amazingly is build trust. So you build that relationship with the other person. The beautiful thing about this is kind of blogging too, but blogging to a lesser extent. Unless you've got a blog that people are like reading on a daily basis, on a regular basis, they begin to trust you that way. With email, you're in their box 4 or 5 days a week if you're doing what I teach you, and they're getting to know you, even though you may not know them yet. They're every day they learn another piece of your puzzle that puts you together as a human being and marketer, and they begin to like you and potentially become part of your tribe. The consistency level, vitally important. So you're building that trust, but you're consistent with them. You're not emailing them 3 times one week and 0 the next 3 weeks, and then another 4 times and then 0 again. We want to be consistent. If you're going to do 3 times a week, do 3 times a week. If you don't think you can knock out three emails a week, which is silly, you could do 5 if you wanted to. It would take you 15 to 20 minutes to write an email. And you got to carve out time to build your business if you're going to do it. And email is such a huge portion of what you're going to do in the long run that you've got to devote the time to it. So you want your emails to be consistent. You want your emails to be interesting. Okay, there's a book called The Purple Cow. Cows, not super interesting. A purple cow, interesting. You want your emails to be conversational. I like to write my emails as if I was writing to a friend of mine. I'll throw in slang on occasion. I will throw it. It's as if I'm texting a buddy of mine, and I just dropped it into an email. In many cases, you'll see that in the emails that I'm going to show you. I want the emails to be entertaining. Okay, that story that you're writing within the emails will help with the entertainment side of things. Speed. You can write emails very fast, and the speed at which you deliver them, if it's 3 times a week or 4 times a week, can make the process of marketing go a lot faster. When you're writing emails and giving away free content online, I want you to think about this way. You offer mindset over technique. So if I'm, and we just talked about this in a coaching call, if I'm selling a weight loss product, and my client, my perfect clientele, my avatar is a woman who wants to lose weight so she looks great in the pictures at her daughter's wedding, which sounds very, very specific, but it's such a massive marketplace. And I mentioned this in the coaching call. The strategies that you're learning in the online downline, when everyone else is playing at my product is better than your product, and my weight loss has the 12 specific scientific things in it that and you're just in the muck, your ability to utilize the strategies I'm teaching you will put your marketing at such a different level than everyone else and position you in such a way that you're gonna win. So what we talked about with Kelly on that coaching call was that you tell your story, you don't give the specifics. You give the specifics when they buy. The specifics, she has a strategy, she's lost weight, she did it, she can teach you how to do it. Well, tell that story, tell that success story. And then I look great while taking pictures at my daughter's wedding, and I lived happily ever after. Especially when my ex was drooling over me at dinner. And I gave him the neener, 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 right? So you're telling the story and then talking about how success comes into play. But it's all about that story. You can teach the technique when people buy from you. Don't particularly care about grammar. Yes, generally speaking, I'm going to write with good grammar. Generally speaking, I will have like Google take a look at it, make sure I'm not misspelling things. But occasionally, I misspell something on purpose, and sometimes I have my own vernacular when writing emails. So don't worry about it. You think you're not a good speller? Who cares? But if you write them in a Google Doc, it's going to correct 99% of any problems. And then, I mean, here's what's great. Misspell something on social media, you're going to have a bunch of comments saying you misspelled something. Well, that's engagement, right? I want you to stop seeking approval from others when it comes to what you're doing online or what you're marketing, even your business overall. You focus on helping those people who want your help, not on seeking approval from your upline, your spouse, your whoever, your downline, mainly upline. When it comes to your spouse, we all want our spouse's approval, but and that generally has to do with specifics related to why are you building a business when you could be doing something else, when you could be cooking me dinner, or we could be out for a walk or whatever. In this case, we're talking about approval mainly from people who don't understand what you're trying to accomplish, which could be a spouse. Could be a spouse. And so I want to tread lightly there. I would, if it came down to it, I would give up a business to keep my spouse. Okay. So that's where my mindset is. Now, we had misunderstandings when I was writing a blog and she didn't understand. And I was probably getting one person a day reading it. It was me. And she see me devoting time to the blog, but she didn't see results, income results yet. That can be a more difficult conversation. But generally speaking, we explain what you're doing, explain how it all works, explain that you're doing proven strategies that aren't, like nothing crazy. You're doing things that have worked for millions of people when it comes to marketing, and you're just getting started. So it takes time. I mean, it took me 5 years of heavy lifting, and then I took another 5 years off. It was 10 years from the day I started my business before I started making any real money. That's a long time for your wife to be looking at you going, is this ever going to work? So it can take time. I'm not saying it's going to take you 10 years. It shouldn't. It shouldn't take you 5 years. It should not take you 2 years to start getting some traction online once you implement everything we're going through. But certainly from your upline who doesn't understand it, don't look for their approval. Okay. All right, let's jump into the email fundamentals. Number one, you format as text/HTML. Email looks like text, but performs like HTML for tracking purposes. There's usually a little tick box. I'm not the goofy, not goofy, corporate style emails with all the visuals and stuff like that is not me at all. Frankly, it hurts marketers in general, especially when you're getting started. So format it as text/HTML. Use a default font style and size. I remember a guy who launched a blog who thought it looked so good. It was a dark, literally like black. And then the colors he used were like neon green and neon pink, and it was like a nightmare to read. And he thought we were picking on him when we said, look, you gotta, your content is great, but the presentation is killing me and many others. And he said, oh, other people told me it looked great, it looked cool. Well, it does kind of look cool until you try to read a paragraph. Those people that say it looks cool are looking at it and go, that looks cool. They're not trying to read a paragraph when it was impossible to read. So you don't want anything too big. You want to just use the default. Easy peasy. Don't change up the colors, sizes, anything like that. Keep it simple. You want it to look like a well-written personal email, not a spammy marketing letter. As a matter of fact, newsletter is a very interesting thing. Did you know if you use the term newsletter in a subject line, the open rate drops by, I think it's somewhere like 30%. So just out of the gate, when it says newsletter, it drops by 30%. Why do it? We don't write crappy newsletters here at the Online Downline. We do something better. Email length, generally speaking, 250 words. I don't know what the length of the sample emails that we're going to go through are. We'll check them when we go live into those 5 different emails that I wrote. Literally within the last 7 days, you're going to get what many a buddy of mine says could potentially be some of my best emails I've ever written. So you're going to get access to those. Can't use them. I can't give them to you because someone bought them, right? A client, but it'll be fun. But we'll be able to see how long they are. From you. In the from, it's from Ty Tribble. Okay? It's from you, your personal name. The from email, your own domain, not Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, or AOL. So you need a domain. I didn't go into the ins and outs of this, but it's not, I don't think it's rocket science. And if it is rocket science, if you think anything is rocket science, I want you to go to YouTube and search, how do I get my own email from my own domain, and see what comes back. I used to go into the intricate details of this kind of thing. And the problem was that I'd walk people through the process, and then the next week Yahoo or GoDaddy or whoever would change their process, and everything I created would have to be recreated to walk you through a different process. Now today certainly makes sense just to send you to Google or YouTube to find the latest information on it. So I'm not your, I think you know this, I'm not your like technology trainer. Although once we stop recording, I will give you access to who I'm recommending for the funnel creator stuff. Shouldn't be a big secret, but I originally mentioned we might be putting something together. I kind of bagged that, and we're going to go the tried and true route. So I'll let you know that once we wrap this up. The subject line, you want curiosity. Oh, you want controversy. So in this afternoon's coaching call, we talked about, Kelly actually said, I'm targeting people who don't want to be fat for their daughter's wedding, or don't want to look fat in their daughter's wedding pictures as a mom, right? And I'm like, that is amazing controversy. I would take a subject, I would create an email subject line out of that 100%. Because yes, it's controversial. Yes, it could, I'm not saying it's hurtful, because you're not calling someone fat. You're saying, you know, if you don't want to be fat at your it is also an engaging subject line. So we'll go through that. The first sentence of your email should be a bridge from the subject to the story. Why is this important? Because if you say, like, I had a guy show me his email open rate, and it was like 60 some percent on a pretty big list. And the reason it was 60 some percent is he completely lied in that subject line, and the email was nothing about what he said the email was supposed to be about. He like made this crazy promise of something, I can't remember what it was. And then the subject to the story of the email did not match up anywhere near with the subject line. So he may have got 60% open rate, but what do you think his next second email percentage open rate was? It was way lower than average or normal for an email, because he just killed the trust. So the first sentence, it's why you're never going to see me with RE, like regarding, like it's like I'm responding to your email that you already sent me. I don't do trickery in the first sentence. I utilize our skills as a copywriter and story brand studier and avatar studier, and come up with something that's engaging and interesting and sometimes controversial enough to get them to open. Okay. If you okay, let's talk about the story. I love this sentence. If you're boring, 10 words is too much. Because how long should my ebook be? How long should my blog post be? How long should my email be? If you're boring, 10 words is too much. If you are a great writer, there's no limit to the number of words you could use. So how do you come up with a story? Well, it could be about you. The young lady, Kelly, that we spoke to on the coaching call just now, had a story that, she did something. She lost the weight. She showed up at the event. That's her success story. So it can be about you. Can be about someone you know. Can be fiction. You can make up the story. Now, you need to tread carefully when you're making up a story. You don't write a testimonial that's fiction and pretend it's someone. But the story can be fiction to illustrate a point. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. There's a lot of history that you could tap into to make a point over the years. You can write advice from a guru, write about advice that you got or something you read in a book from a guru. You can write about a TV show. You can write about a movie. You can write about a book that you read. All those things are brainstorming ideas, and you'll get the slides for this one so that you can go back and take notes from it. I think this is a good one to give you the slides on. So you take the story and then you transition to the call to action. Tie the story into your offer. And then the call to action, tell them what you want them to do. I read emails from people, and sometimes there's no call to action. Well, I go into websites and there's no call to action. Tell people what you want them to do. Book a call. Download the free ebook. Whatever, buy the product. Click here to buy now. Whatever the case may be, you want a call to action. The signature should be strong and memorable. You're going to see several different signatures that I use in this email series that we're going to go through. I think that'll illustrate it pretty well, but strong and memorable. I mean, like, for example, in my traditional nutrition company business, I might say, the gang at the name of my company, and I say, where you always get uh, the best prices online, or where you always get free shipping, or whatever. Right? Does that make sense? Give them something to think about and remember. The PS. I would say that 95% of emails that come from my desk have a PS. The reason is sometimes people just read the subject line, the first line, and then they scroll down and read the PS, which is kind of interesting. So I almost always have a PS. When I don't have a PS, I'm just changing things up in an email to have people go, oh shoot, where's the PS? That's weird, and then maybe they read the rest. So it's another strategy, but the vast majority of the time I use a PS. Here's what you do in the PS: scarcity and repetition. So if my whole email was about Black Friday sale, and I know that the Black Friday sale is only available while, for the next 2 weeks, or whatever, and then I remind them of the call to action that I used earlier. It doesn't have to be wild in terms of your PS. You can do a number of different things and keep it very, very simple, but always include one. Here are email's greatest failures. These kill your return on investment. Okay. Weak headlines. You don't want headlines that are just weak and run of the mill and what everybody else is using. Okay. A disconnected opening sentence. You want to connect your opening sentence with the subject line and then connect that into the story that you're telling. Not clear and concise. This is a big one. I think that people sometimes they don't write enough emails to practice. Part of what you're doing is going to be practice, okay? You need to make sure that you're writing enough emails that you begin to get better at writing emails. I don't know how many emails I've written over the years, thousands for sure. I don't know exactly how many, a lot. And I'm promising you that the ones I wrote this week are better than the ones I wrote the first week I ever wrote an email. Right? I may have had some talent in that area potentially, but if you look at the books on my shelf back there, it's less talent and more study. I can promise you that. People that never get personal in their emails. Okay. That's a mistake. It's a failure. It's okay to get personal. It's okay to tell a story and be vulnerable. Right? There's no compelling story. Big failure. You need that compelling story. Sometimes there's an overarching story over the whole thing. Sometimes it's a story in one email. People that try to be funny that are just not funny. This is a pretty good one. A little humor goes a long way, and I think everyone has a level of humor. But if it's not like your bag, I wouldn't even try. Like, don't try to tell a joke if you're just not funny. Stay away from it. Okay. If you could do a stand-up routine as a comedian, then knock yourself out and be funny. Another failure is there's no emotion in those emails. When we read the emails, the example emails, there's real emotion in those that I'm going to show you. A big failure is that people think education is more important than entertainment, and in reality, you will get more people reading your emails on a regular basis. This also goes with social media and TikToks and things of that nature. If you're entertaining, it's going to go a lot further than educating. And I like to call it, what is it? Edutainment. So a little bit of education with entertainment, and you're going to go a long ways. This is one that is a great big problem in the network marketing industry, in probably the company I'm associated with in particular, in a lot of ways. Sciency jargon or flowery speak. Network marketing has its own language, and when it comes to science-based companies, nutritional companies, things of that nature, we tend to go off into jargonville and flowery speak. It's annoying, and you would never speak that way to one of your friends. Okay, so don't do it to don't disrespect the people that have opted in by giving them a bunch of gibberish jargon speak that no one really understands. Okay. Maybe the biggest mistake of all is you never tell the reader to buy. Tell them to buy. Tell them to get the, like one of my buddies, David Wood, used to be saying, as you pull your credit card from your wallet, I want you to think about this. He's using persuasion and NLP, but he is also telling people what they need to be doing. So I'm not saying you need to be an expert in persuasion and NLP. You should have a little persuasion in your writing. There's nothing wrong with that. We want to persuade people to buy from us. I persuaded my wife to go out on the second date after she asked me out. We persuade our way through lives every single day. It's in our jobs. It's in everything we do in life. So utilizing persuasion in a ethical way is not a bad thing. In other words, ask for the action. This is an amazing story, and I think this came from the book. What book was it? Oh shoot, it's not that important. I can get it for you at some point. But anyways, this came from a book kind of about persuasion and things like that. Guy comes up to the Xerox machine and says, "Excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use the Xerox machine?" So cuts in line. 60% of the people said, "Okay, yeah, go ahead." So they did this as a study. Went to different places, used these phrases. If he said, "Excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use the Xerox machine because I'm in a rush?" 94% said okay. He gave him a reason. Gave him a reason. You want to give people a reason when you ask for a sale. This is what's unbelievable. "Excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use the Xerox machine because I have to make some copies?" 93% said okay. If you remember, okay, so the previous one was, "I'm in a rush. Can I use the machine?" So the reason was, I'm in a rush. The reason here is the reason everyone uses the copy machine is because they have to make some copies. And only 1% less people said. So sometimes the reason doesn't matter at all. We overanalyze things in so many ways. Oh, I have to have everything perfect. I want you to have everything as good as possible. But we launch something today, we can make a change tomorrow. It's okay. Oh, it doesn't quite work. That's all right. We're going to tweak a little bit and make some changes. But this is funny. You just give them any reason and they say, okay. When you want people to take action, always give them a reason. Okay. I think that's the end of this of the slides. Let me do this. So I can go back here, hang tight, get out of this, pull that up. Okay. Any questions, comments, anything like that so far on the, we're 45 minutes in roughly. And we're going to dissect these 5 emails next. I'm guessing 15 to 20 minutes in this one, roughly. Any questions? No questions? Okie dokie. Moving right along. I think I got this right. Oh, there it is. Is this an email series to start the process? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by start the process. This would be for a product launch that we're going to look at specifically. But I think the basics of email that we just went through in the slides are universal. If you have any, like, 2 people on your list, 5 people on your list, 10 people on your list, and you have their email addresses, I would start sending them 2 to 3 emails a week at minimum. I don't care how many you have, because it's the practice that you need to do to get better. And then when you have 10,000 people on your email list, then they're going to buy, because you're much better at it and you've had that practice. So if you have 1 person on your email address and it's you, send them a daily email. I do say I say 2 to 3. Really, I'd like to see 3. We're not here to mess around. These are you paid to be on this training. I'm not going to treat you like a kid. Write 3 emails a week now, beginning now. And you'll start seeing results, especially as your list grows. But part of it is the practice. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. And here we go. Okay, so this brand is called Sheer Strength. And they are I like a men's health brand. If I had to give you their avatar, it's a 40-year-old man, regular man, 40-year-old man. Well, I'm not saying regular. You'll get more as we go through this. So this is launching a new product from Sheer Strength. Hey, it's Ryan and Sean. Beginning at age 30, men lose 1% of their testosterone every year. By age 45, nearly 40% of men have low testosterone. Here's the problem, strategy, and here's the solution. That's why we came up with Sheer Alpha Testosterone Booster. You want to be the energetic dad and grandpa, but after working all day, it becomes harder and harder to say yes when the little ones want to play. Oh, the story. The story begins. You want to say yeah when the little one, the son or the grandson says, "Grandpa or Dad, I want to play." You say, "Well, let Dad rest a few minutes." And then the minutes turn into an hour or 2, and that precious moment you could have had with your son or daughter is gone forever. Emotion. I'm poking at the dads and the grandpas who want to be there for their kids but feel too tired, because that one precious moment will never be there again. It's gone forever. You and your kids and grandkids deserve better. You deserve to have the energy, strength, and stamina you had in your 20s. I'm painting a picture. Remember your 20s. Remember when you could go out drinking with your buddies until 3 o'clock in the morning, jump in bed, sleep till 6, hop up and go work like it was nothing. Remember those days? Well, guess what? You can have them back. Sheer Alpha Testosterone Booster is designed to optimize hormones and performance, accelerate muscle growth and fat loss, and increase energy, libido, and drive. Now, in my case with these, they may sound canned to a certain extent because they are canned to a certain extent. When writing emails, if you are involved with a company, many times you would see me take that company info that's been approved by their lawyers already and not make any other claims other than that. Okay, so this is free of charge to keep you and your company away from getting into trouble. So right now you can get your bottle of Sheer Alpha on Amazon. They want to promote theirs on Amazon for the lowest price it will ever be offered, $20 off the retail price. Here's a link. So that is offer number 1. Why should I get it right now? Because it's the lowest price it will ever be offered, right? I'm giving them a reason on top of what I've already given them as reasons. Sheer Alpha Testosterone Booster is all natural with nothing artificial and formulated with the best testosterone boosting ingredients to get you results. Okay, so hello. Okay, science people. I know you're reading too. Here's your sciencey sentence. I'm a all type of person pleaser when it comes to email writing. Also, you're all natural people, right? Nothing artificial. Formulate with the best ingredients. But then I also give it meaning to get you results. All designed to help you be the leader, the example, the father figure. Your family needs a strong dad and grandpa. Honestly, like never before, the world needs strong dads and grandpas. Sometimes your body needs a nudge in the right direction. That's Sheer Alpha Testosterone Booster. Try it now during our launch sale. In this together, Ryan and Sean from Sheer Strength. The special launch pricing is only available on Amazon and only for a limited time. Scarcity. Get your bottle today. Link. Okay, so many emails you read, especially from new people, but not from you as new people, don't have any call to action. We have 1, 2, 3 calls to action in one email. And just to be clear, as I was going through that, Ryan and Sean are the owners of the company. I wrote the emails on behalf of Ryan and Sean, right? Just so you're aware. Subject line: the world needs more testosterone. That's kind of interesting thought. Some women will think opposite, but this is the marketplace. Hey, it's Ryan and Sean from Sheer Strength. Small thing, but up here I say a new product from Sheer Strength. Hey, it's Ryan and Sean. I didn't mention that this is Sheer Strength here, so I mentioned it here. Small thing, but a detail that you want to make sure you want. Remember, 43% opted out because they didn't know who they were, who it was. Almost every email I write, I take it back. Not always. Most of the time when I write an email, especially to my list, I say, "Hey, it's Ty." They know who it is. Hey, it's Ty Tribble. Remember me? We all know that testosterone levels decrease as we age, but did you know that there is a generational decline in testosterone today? That means that even Gen Zers and millennials have lower testosterone levels compared to their predecessors. The cause? Rising obesity, external toxins, stress, and mental health problems. Those are the big ones. Here's a little humor. Some even suggest that tighter underwear could be a factor. Public service announcement: remember to give the boys the room they need. Again, this is a 40-year-old man I'm writing to. One thing you will know, if you've ever been married to men, or if you are a man, that we very rarely grow up past the age of 12 in some ways. So a little bathroom humor here can go a long way to developing that relationship with people. Even though this is a serious brand, right? Because of the kind of product it is, I can say something like that and have some leeway. We can have some fun with it. But then I get back to work. In all seriousness, as a group, men simply aren't as strong, have less energy and less drive than the generations before us. Any way you cut it, it's scary. That's why our team here at Sheer Strength developed Sheer Alpha. Studies have shown that ingredients in Sheer Alpha increase testosterone levels up to 46%. While men around the world are going backwards, you can join us in utilizing natural ingredients to increase yours. And right now, you can experience the testosterone results you need from Sheer Alpha and a great launch special at the same time. Buy, right? Get the launch special now at Amazon. Imagine what it's like to feel better, stronger, and faster. This is a little bit of nostalgia thrown in. There used to be a show in the 70s called The Bionic Man. And the guy went, like, he had a big, I think he was an astronaut and went through a big accident, and they saved his life by making him better, stronger, and faster with like robotics and things like that. So they turned him into like half robot kind of thing, half man, called The Bionic Man. And so I'm not alluding to it, but it's like the nostalgia is there. Even after a stressful day at work, you still have the energy to be a great dad and a husband your wife chases around the house when the kids go to bed. Sheer Alpha is the latest product we've developed to help get rid of dad bods in favor of building more testosterone-rich father figures. In your corner, Ryan and Sean from Sheer Strength. P.S. You deserve to have the testosterone you need to not only keep up with the kids, but give them an example of what a father figure looks like. Sheer Alpha is that boost you need. Get your special price bottle at Amazon. Email 3, the natural way to higher T. Hey, it's Ryan and Sean from Sheer Strength. Nature is an amazing ally in the fight to stay strong and healthy. And we found the best that nature has to offer in order to help you increase your testosterone by 46%. We didn't just pick out some cool sounding stuff and put it in a fancy bottle for you. Sheer Alpha Testosterone Booster was formulated with science first. The 6 key ingredients in Sheer Alpha have scientific studies that show higher levels of total and free testosterone while boosting performance. Here's an ingredient rundown for you. This email specifically, not this part. Yeah, a little bit. This is for the skeptic. This is for the sciencey skeptic person, this email. As we go through these, you will see I have a series of 5 emails. They're focusing in on different types of people that may read them. I don't know the exact person. I know they're all between 30 and 55, maybe 30 and 60 men. But there's different personalities within that avatar. So I'm hitting buttons, beep, 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 and making each one of them want to buy is the purpose of the 5 emails, right? I won't go into the info. It's a pretty cool ingredients in this product. But then I say, there are no magic pills, but when you take the best of what nature offers, along with scientific studies that prove results, you have the foundation to be the man you want to be. Manatech people. That there's no claim in that sentence. No claim, no product claim, no goofy product claim. You're going to cure this, you're going to cure that. But that is a very powerful sentence that you could take and adopt to your business. Nutrition companies, okay? Especially if you're all natural stuff and science backed. It's interesting. That's a good sentence. And right now you can get it at Amazon, as you know. Another call to action. The foundation for a strong life is a strong body. We are all in with you, Ryan and Sean from Sheer Strength. Our mission is just PS. Our mission is to destroy dad bods and replace them with father figures. Sheer Alpha is only the beginning. Join us on the journey and get your launch price bottle today. When I say Sheer Alpha is only the beginning, I'm alluding to like the next series of emails, right? Does that make sense? I'm foreshadowing that more is coming down the road. I'm foreshadowing that I want them to buy this, but I want them to buy more in the future, more different new things, other things that's going to help them in the journey to wipe out dad bods and replace them with father figures, which I think is a really cool thing to say. Subject of email number 4, what it means to be alpha. Hey, it's Ryan and Sean from Sheer Strength. There seems to be a lot of misconceptions about the term alpha, especially over the last 5 to 10 years. To us, an alpha is a responsible leader, a true father figure, a man you can count on. He's confident and assertive, kind and caring, problem solving and under control emotionally. And he's strong. These traits are what we had in mind when formulating Sheer Alpha Testosterone Booster. So I'm really taking what men are hearing in a lot of circles. You got to remember who I'm writing to. I'm writing to men, but they're also hearing in other circles that, like being an alpha is bad, the patriarchy is bad, all this kind of things. But these are people. So some of those people are getting beat on from different directions. Actually, the media is probably beating on them, and then other people have their ideas. But when it's all put together, they might have a different attitude about alpha, so I wanted to squish that because it's part of the name of the product, Sheer Alpha. So I wanted to paint them a different picture of what an alpha potentially looks like than what the media is saying. You can see some thought goes into these, right? I just sit down and just type it out, right? Or go to Chat GPT. These are never touched by Chat GPT. This is straight from the mind and the study. These traits are what we had in mind when formulating Sheer Alpha Testosterone Booster to help you be the best you can be so that you live a long, healthy, and happy life. Sheer Alpha is the testosterone booster that we see as the tip of the spear. There's more to come, giving you the energy, drive, and libido to make a huge difference in your daily life. Right now, you can, again, save $20. Some of you may know that we recently bought Sheer Strength, the brand and company, back from the private equity group that ran it over the few years. This is important in the whole overall arching story. They sold their company and then bought it back, which is kind of interesting. There are many reasons why we wanted the company back, but at the top of the list was we felt like we had unfinished business. During that time away, we got older and maybe a little wiser. The moment when you watch your son or daughter sleep in their crib, seeing their little chests rise and fall as they breathe, there's a lot of emotion there, but let's just say it changes you. You want to be the father that young ones deserve, to not let them down and always be there for them. All of this to say, we want to make an impact on dads and grandpas, giving you a leg up with the right supplements designed especially for you. That's who we are, and that's why we're launching Sheer Alpha. Together, we make a difference. Ryan and Sean from Sheer Strength. P.S. Let's turn dad bods into father figures. Save $20. Email number 5. This is a big key one. This series would never be as powerful as it is without this one. email. What men are saying. Here's what, and you know, I'm just going to read it. You'll get the gist, and we can talk about it after I read it. Hey, it's Ryan and Sean from Sheer Strength. You've heard about the benefits and science-backed ingredients in Sheer Alpha, and you've heard us tell you why we're so passionate about it. But let's face it, that's our job. We're a no BS zone, and we know that you know that we're supposed to give you reasons to buy. So now it's time to hear from men just like you who've experienced Sheer Alpha testosterone booster. So I'm saying, you know, it's my job to sell you. And so here's the thing. These people, it's not their job to sell you. That's when you bring in the testimonials. Okay. And to tell them that it's your job to sell them is really a liberating thing. They go, oh, you're right. But I like reading these emails. They're fun. They're interesting. You're speaking directly to me. So I'm still going to read them, even though you're selling me. I'm telling you I'm selling you. And it's okay. Right? Because people like to buy. Some people don't like to be sold when it's just a blatant pitch that's boring. I don't think we're boring here. I had ChatGPT make up these testimonials, and then I changed a few things, but ChatGPT did a pretty good job. They were a little flowery. I changed some of that. I started taking Sheer Alpha a few months back, and I didn't expect much at first because I've tried other miracle supplements before, and they never really did the trick. But with Sheer Alpha, the difference is night and day. I feel full of energy at the gym and still feel great when I get home from work. Plus, I can see the difference it's made for my wife. You know what I'm saying? My wife. I better change that on the other thing. My wife noticed a change before I ever told her what I was taking. It's like I'm back in my prime again, and I'm living for it. Name, age, location. So that was a ChatGPT, but I made a few changes to it. Like originally it was about his girlfriend. I changed it to his wife, but yeah, it was fun. There you have it. 3 men. I'm not going to read through the other ones. It's just, like I said, ChatGPT, but they're different styles. That's the only place ChatGPT touched these emails, by the way, was these fake. I was kind of doing a placeholder for real testimonials. Okay, so let me make this very, very abundantly clear. These are example testimonials, and would like the real ones if possible. We're waiting for the real ones to be inserted. So I'm not faking testimonials, right? Crystal clear. There you have it. 3 men, different ages and lifestyles that have experienced the benefits of Sheer Alpha. You deserve to experience the benefits too. During our special launch of Sheer Alpha Testosterone, you can save $20 off the regular price. In your corner, Ryan and Sean from Sheer Strength. The next bit is all about building, even though this is the last in this series, it's all about building that relationship with the reader. P.S. When we say we're in your corner, we want you to know that it's not just a cute little saying. What we really mean is that we know you're in a fight. Some of you feel like you're in the fight of your life. We get what you're going through. We're in your corner means we are your corner men, here to patch you up in between rounds and make sure that you have everything you need to go out and punch your way through the next round in life. If this was a woman's product, just so you're aware, I would use very different language than I'm using in this few sentences. But I could do something similar. In other words, I'm saying we've got your back. I could say it in a more feminine way. And that's what you will get becoming a good writer. Now, when you start, your avatar is going to be closer to you as a human being, which this one is. I told the guy when he was shopping around for different writers, I said, you're not going to find a better person to write your emails than me. I'm just telling you right now. I'm 53. This is right up my alley. I've written about nutrition for 20 years. I know this person that you're selling to like the back of my hand. Anyway, let's see. We're here to patch you up in between rounds and make sure that you have everything you need to go out and punch your way through the next round in life. Providing you with supplements that make a difference in your life is our product business. It pays the bills. Our hope is to inspire you to be the father figure your kids, wife, family, and the world needs. Stay strong. Save $20 on Sheer Alpha. Here's what's really, this hit me when I was going over this with the company that has these emails. Like, we are deep in like dude talk. We're having a beer at a pub and it's late and we're talking about life. And then I just bat him over the head with stay strong and save $20 at the end, which is really kind of funny. It's like out of nowhere, boom, here's this complete change. And it kind of makes them feel like discombobulated, but they're like, oh yeah, I was in father figure world, realizing that you are really in my corner and I should get smacked around the head and buy it. So that's an example of emails that if you go through what we went through before and talked about the different things that a good email has, there's the story part of it. Their story is they came in and bought a company and are bringing it back to life because they got old. And I can go into more of this story in the future if they want me to write more, which I think they will. There's more to the story. You know, they sold the company as younger people and then bought it back. They're older. They're maybe wiser. They've learned some things. They want to make a bigger impact than just selling the product. They want to change, you know, like if they can help men stay healthy and happy and have more energy to sow into their children and their families for years to come. That's an amazing story that I can get into. And it's a niche of the person that wants to be a good dad, that wants to be a great grandpa, that wants to have that energy to do the right thing. They're the person that wants to do the right thing. And sometimes they just need a little nudge in the right direction. So I am, excuse me, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for tuning in to the email marketing section of Online Downline, and I look forward to reading your emails. So hang on, everybody. I'm just going to stop the recording.